Hello, Savory here, and I wanted to show you my progress on getting Blender design levels designed in Blender into RPGMaker. So first of all, I want to test how many polys I could get to run in MZ 3D. So I made this little test level. So I first designed a little level right here. It's very simple. If you look at the map, you can see all the parts. I did this really quickly, and I intentionally put a lot of polygonal detail. The triangles is ridiculous. It takes it's like 400K of triangles. I did that intentionally to test what MZ3D can tolerate. And so once I got that set up, and then I imported it into RPGMaker, which what I did to do it, I made an event, and I simply just put the model name, test level, nothing too complicated. And then let me just plug in my Jackal and make him load into it. And to my surprise, it worked. And it runs smoothly most of the time. So what my observations from importing, as you bump into, these were the blocks that I put that are impassable on the actual RPGMaker map are. So yeah. Also a pleasant surprise is that transparency works very well. You just have to make it, yeah, just make it a certain black, and it just does the transparency for you. No alphas, any crap like that. As long as you use the correct black, it will or keep it transparent. It will work fine. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, so this orb is probably half. This is like 200K right here. This stupid orb, and it's the most intensive thing. So it works good, and I was able to make weird shapes into the ground. So I think you can make some pretty decent areas in Blender and then import them into RPGMaker with the MZ 3D plugin, of course. So yeah, it works good. So that was exciting. That meant I could go beyond just having block dungeony roguelike rooms and could go into a more almost it's like jumping from Dungeon Master to a PS1 game, if that makes any sense. So let me show you the level again. So yeah, what I did was take the tile sets that I made, and then I'm one of the monsters and just use that as textures because I could be damned to make textures for the test. All right. So after I did that, I decided, well, let's do an actual dungeon I've already designed. So I did the first dungeon. It's a pretty simple dungeon. I mean, it has 2 rooms, a boss battle here, and 2 rooms connected by 3 doors. And then there's a couple lakes for you to fish if you want, because fishing's kind of I know it's kind of weird to make a horror fishing game, but I will be able to do some really interesting things with it. So I made the level, in MZ 3D, to make heights, you usually go to the R, and 1 through 8 are dedicated just for MZ 3D. That's how you can do different heights of blocks. But I took all of that away and just made it completely flat. And then again, I just took a simple event and named it the dungeon room. There's nothing, no code or anything. Well, I mean, besides the plugin. So then I made the level. First I carefully counted the grid. Carefully counted the grid and I put the center of that is where is this right here, the center of this. And then I built on that. I put the grid on to make it easier for me. It's about 0.500 per grid to make it work. It's not to make it exact, so there's no like scaling issues. After that, I just slowly developed the level, and this is what I came up with. As you can see, it's the same level. Just I made the 3D parts. Yeah, so yeah. The nice thing about doing it in Blender is that I was able to make adjustments to each stalagmite and make it slightly different. Something that I wouldn't have been able to do in RPG Maker. I'm also able to put like transparent textures up in the air and put stalagmites up in the air. All sorts of cool things. So this is what this level looks like in 3D. So I mean, it took an hour to do it. Wasn't too bad. It was more of a test level. So after I got it working, this is the, let me, I put my character in there. Okay, this is the result. So one thing I'll have to do is a fade because it sometimes takes a little bit to load it. And yeah, this is the result. Oops. See, here's the default stalagmite, and here's the one I modified using just using the sculpt tools. It just you can easily put transparency. So that means you can put grass, all sorts of items to detail your world. I'm gonna put like a bunch of rocks and stuff. And yeah, it runs relatively smooth. I I think this is as big as I can make the level though, 19 by 17. So I might have to interconnect it with different maps. But yeah, I mean, it works really well. I mean, I was not expecting it to work as well. And this entire map is only like 20k triangles. I didn't overdo it. I made everything low poly, and it runs good. Again, you can go fishing if you want. Uh, I don't like the RPG Maker combat system, so I'm actually programming my own, which I'll show in a future update when I can get the basics working. I tried to look at other plugins that other people have made, and they just have not been satisfactory. I don't want anything that complicated. I also want to do some other also some other alternative ways of combat, like stealth, and just the standard combat mechanics in RPG Maker. I'm not a fan of. So yeah, I mean, it's running great. You can also run it with the mouse. This, like I said, this is MZ3D and Omi Move. Those are the only major plugins I'm using. Yeah, and It's just really smooth. I do see a little slowdown in certain areas, and I haven't figured out what that is. I think just a smaller map might help. I mean, a smaller map in a smaller area. But like I said, the other area ran smoothly, and it was 400K, so I can't quite figure out why there's some jumpiness in this 2K map that's twice as big. I mean, 20K map that's twice as big when the 400K map ran smoothly. It's an enigma to me, but I will figure it out and figure out what the best practices to make a 3D to import a Blender world into RPG Maker. Yeah, and I mean, so that opens a new realm of design options for me because I'm more of a Blender artist than I am a RPG Maker gamer, a programmer. So I'll be able to explore that. So I'm excited about that. Well, that's about it. I'm over my 11 minutes. I mean, over my 10 minutes. Unfortunately, I just started this channel, and I've already used my phone number for another channel, and it won't let me do another one for a year for some reason. So I have to just upload only 10-minute chat things until it trusts me, I guess, or something like that. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. I hope, and I don't know what else to say, so I'm going to end it here.